Hello, my friends. Hello. Welcome to our live stream. I am Rachel Archelaus, founder of the Intuitive Art Academy, writer, hiker, creator. And this is Carrie Roldan, your business BFF. And she is now taking on clients. So if you've been wanting to coach with Carrie, then hit her up. Email me, email her, reach out. We're excited. So why are we here, y'all? We're here because it's time to give up planning. Give up planning. Give it up. Give it up for good and live in the moment. I know we say this all the time, but lately, most people I know are at peak confusion. Peak confusion. I held out for so long. Intimate Alien said this is going to be a really confusing year. And really until like a month ago, I was like, I'm solid. I'm good. Everything's fine. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know what to do. I want to do all these things. And I just heard all of my limiting beliefs raging in the background of like, devote all your time here. Do this for the rest of your life. It's going to be amazing. You're so into it. You're obsessed. It's going to be great. And then like a week later, I'm like, do this right here. This is it. And I feel such clarity sometimes in those moments. But I know I can't listen to that voice. I cannot listen to that voice because I know myself now. And I know I am one who loves life. And anything I'm into, I'm completely 100% obsessed with. So anyway, that's been my confusion, but I know a lot of other people have different limiting beliefs that have been raging in their ears. So that's what this is all about. As I said in the email, our futures have been unglued. There is no longer like a solid thing that we're all working toward, a vision of ourselves that's so concrete that we can feel. And we just have to do the things day to day that we think are going to get us there. Now, more than ever, we can feel the center of our lives are in the moment. In the moment is the only thing that exists. It's everything that ever has existed. It's just that the 3D world felt so real for so long. And it's gone. It's been wiped out. So we have ourselves now. We have our connection now. We have the potential of the moment now, which is infinite. And if it's infinite, then we need to stop planning for what we think we're going to be and just be what we are right now and let that carry us forward. So I've got diagrams for you today. We're probably going to do a drawing today. But if you have any questions, if you're also feeling confused, let us know in the chat.
Yeah. And also, I'm right there with you. Rachel and I just spent a half hour. We're normally in that half hour. It's, me like walking Rachel through some things. Not today. Today, Rachel, I spent like a long time arguing for my limitations, even though I like really want to let them go. And so, yeah, guys, I'm right there with you. In fact, I did a drawing I was showing Rachel not too long ago. Basically, like, how do I get where I want to go? And this right here is confusion. So, like, hey, guess what? Where you want to go? Like, it's starting on this. You're like the sidewalk that you're walking. It's confusion, and it is helpful though, Rachel, to recognize that why we're confused. I know that was a helpful part of our conversation earlier. Is like we're confused because the world that we thought we had a handle on doesn't exist anymore. And the world we want is here now. And so it's confusing because all of our old ways of being and strategies and things that worked just don't. And ease is easy. I'm experiencing that right now, and yet I'm not trusting it. And that's confusing. So here we are. So talk to me. I took notes from our earlier conversation. And I swear I listened to you just a minute ago, but already talking about confusion has me a little bit confused. But you and I said something. I'm looking for, our notes. You said complete freedom is the only option. We're confused because we can't plan anymore. And I was like, all right, well, if we can't plan, then how do we get what we want? And you were like, I'm so glad you asked.
I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, let me show you how, okay? So it's not even really that the life we want is here right now. It can be, but the life we've created is here right now. And so we need to see clearly what has shown up for us. Where has our attention been? Because you can be given things and not receive them, right? I'm realizing over the past month, like, just how easy and abundant and free my life is, where before I just sort of kept trying. I kept trying to make certain things work, or work harder, or do more, or be a certain way. And I'm realizing, like, how inadequate almost I felt, like, very subtly. I really do love myself, but like, I was still sort of like trying to achieve, instead of just recognizing, like, everything that I want is here right now and I can have it. I just got to put all that other stuff away. I just have to live in this moment and ask myself, what do I want to do right now? And I can do it. And that is incredible. But our perception is often very clogged by our limiting beliefs, by our inadequacy, by our insecurity. And if we can get really present and just see what's actually available to me, in what ways am I already abundant? In what ways am I already free? In what ways am I already getting the things I've been asking for? But I just need to embrace. That's a first step, because then you'll see I don't actually have to plan to get what I want. I have what I want, and I can have more of what I want by recognizing the flow, by enhancing my appreciation of what I already have. Because that is how we get more. We need to become what we want in order to magnetize more. Our planning doesn't do anything really, except put up barriers and limitations. And Carrie and I had a little talk earlier about, like, what does planning actually mean? Because, like, we're planning to do something together. I've got, this specific hike on my calendar tomorrow. I have a massage next week. Like, I put stuff on my calendar. I plan on things, but it's really about thinking that we need to plan for a specific future, for a specific version of ourselves that we don't need to do anymore. It's all the big things that we want. It's who we think we're going to be. It's what we think we're going to need. The shoulds along the way, the steps along the way, that we don't need that anymore. We never really have, but right now it's very acute.
So, yes, I wrote down, I have what I want, and I can get more of it by recognizing the flow. That is helpful. Doing that now. And then you said, become what you want. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Makes me sit up a little taller. And there's a question in here. Well, you made me a diagram earlier.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. Now, I've given this diagram out before many times. This is how
I like that you called it success without planning, though. Instead of, I think, I don't know what it's been before. I don't remember what you've called it before, but that resonates with me.
Yeah. So success without planning. How is that possible? Because you're a vibrational being and your higher self is creating your 3D world based on your vibration. So you don't need to plan. Your higher self's got all the details, right? But your part of what outcome comes to be is your alignment. How do you feel? Truly, not how do you want to feel, not how do you think you feel, how do you actually feel? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel happy? Do you feel abundant? Do you feel free? Do you feel open? Do you feel loved? That is the most important thing. That is your switch. It's your order form for what you get, because that sends the message to your higher self and it allows you to magnetize resources to you. So whatever your alignment is, whatever you're feeling, is the resources that you've magnetized. So when you're in a really crappy mood, you're going to get people around you who are complaining, because that's what you're magnetizing, right? It's the old saying, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, your day is not going to go very well, right? But if you're happy, if you're optimistic, if you're open, you're going to find what you're looking for. It's going to come to you. And you don't have to do anything about that. You don't have to go and get the resources. They're going to be magnetized to you. Now, there may be some action steps that you're inspired to, but you're going to be inspired to them. Strategy takes care of itself. And I put it down here because after you align and the resources start coming, you're going to realize the strategy. You're going to be like, oh my God, how did that happen? That was incredible. I didn't do that on purpose. It's going to feel like a gift. And you're going to notice, oh, hey, somebody's looking out for me. And it's you. And then you get to enjoy the outcome. So whatever you've aligned to is whatever outcome you're going to get. If you've been feeling abundant and clear and truthful and authentic, you're going to feel an outcome that gives you more of that. People are going to be like, Rachel, you're so yourself. How do you do that? Right? People tell me that a lot. So I get to enjoy that. What are people saying to you? What outcomes are you getting? That is exactly what you've been giving. You get what you give. You get what you feel. You get what you feel. Not what you want to feel, not what you think you feel, what you actually feel. What you actually feel. Meditation is super helpful for helping you know what you actually feel, because we can easily lie to ourselves. We do it all the time. And it's fine. As we go along, we're going to notice more. We're going to be more sensitive to how we feel. And then we can be more free. It's just a never-ending thing.
Okay, I'm with you on all of this. Yes, outcomes are indicators of our alignment. I often get frustrated when I feel like my alignment's been really good, and then I get this random unexpected outcome from what I thought, and then of course looking at it then often creates more of it. So I get it, right? I might be feeling good for a really long time, and there's just a little somewhere in my vibration, just a little residual stuff that brings up one more thing that is ready to go. So I'm with you on all of that. I wrote something that I heard Abraham talk about this morning. So you said you get what you feel. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sometimes I'm feeling great though, and then something really shitty happens. So I am aware of the time buffer that sometimes happens. But I like what Abraham said this morning I don't know when they said it, when I was listening this morning. Abraham said, you get what you expect.
That too, because expectation is also a feeling.
Yeah. And that one was like, well, damn it all. Sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Sure do. And so then the question begs the question, right? How do I change my expectations? Change my expectation by changing my vibration. So how do I change my vibration if I want to change my expectation? Anyhow, I heard someone say, and this is really hitting me right now because I feel like this is what I've been doing for a while, that emotions are energy in motion, that they're like, they need to be moved. And I'm thinking about how often this actually just happened for me. Like I've been not wanting to feel something that I've been feeling. Like I've been feeling it pretty strongly, but being like, this feeling isn't serving me. So I'm just not going to feel it. Or I'm going to change my focus. But I really wasn't changing my focus. I was just sort of distracting myself from like it's like holding the beach ball underwater, that like, just like shoving it down. And yesterday, I finally let myself feel it. And I don't even think I let myself feel all of it. I just let myself feel it enough that, because it was a feeling I was scared of. It was a feeling I didn't want to feel. But I let myself feel it enough that I was able to cry. I was able to be in the feeling. I was able to let the feeling move instead of just like holding it down. And then it left. And it has come back once or twice since then, but like the big scary nature of it, like the thing that I didn't want to look at, the thing that I thought was going to like bring me down, disappeared and opened up space to be present. So I don't know if we're saying the same thing, but that's what I'm like. The arguer in my head, there's such an arguer in my head. I know you know this, Rachel. The arguer in my head is like, yeah, okay, find alignment, be present. But how do I get there? How do I get there? How do I get there? What do I do? And at least for me yesterday, the answer was feel the thing I'm afraid to feel.
Well, yeah, emotion is energy in motion. It's our feedback system. It's telling us what we're actually focused on, right? And so if we're feeling scary, like if I'm up on, the ridge of a mountain and I'm feeling scared, it's because I'm thinking about what could happen if I fall. I'm thinking about other people who have fallen. I'm thinking about, I've never done this thing before, right? It's telling me I'm focused on the negative aspect of this, right? It doesn't make it less real, right? But I'm focused on the negative aspect of that. And sure, I could stand there and process and do that, or I can be like, oh, well, these aren't technical moves. I can do this. I'm just walking across this thing and maybe hugging some rocks, and it's going to be great. I'm going to be on the other side and I'll feel euphoria. So it's like if someone stands too close to you and you can feel like, ooh, that's in my boundary, take a step away, right? So whether you can do that easily or not depends on your momentum. If you've been thinking that thing a long time, if you've been having that feeling a long time, then it's going to take some more effort to step away from it. But there's no right or wrong thing that you need to do to change a feeling. The easiest way is always the best way. So if you can distract yourself and it goes away, great. If you can say, oh, wait, I'm just looking at the negative here, I can look at the positive of this, great. If you need to do the busting loose thing where you lay down and you feel where the feeling is and you take your power back from it, awesome, right? Have a tool belt and use the most appropriate tool. But there isn't one way to deal with emotion because it's just feedback. It's just showing you I'm looking at something that doesn't feel good. This is a waste of my time. How can I most quickly get over this, get away from this, and get back to who I really am? Because who you really are has none of that. None of that. You are not resistance. You are 99.9999999% pure positive energy, pure electric freedom, abundance, euphoria. So that is your truth. And if you can get back to that as quickly as possible, you're going to be way better off. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this year, at least for me, has just been back to the confusion, right? It's like, see, I am finding confusion even talking about it. This year has been one of shedding.
Mm-hmm.
Just whether I feel like I would like to say that I'm like gently putting down my baggage, right? Like I'm walking with these big heavy suitcases, and then one day I'm like, oh, these are heavy, I will put them down. But what's been happening is like I'm carrying these big heavy suitcases, and like someone's like trying to wrestle it out of my hand, right? And I'm like, no, I need to
I'm trying to wrestle them out of you. Yeah.
yeah. And it's
Put it down.
and at least for me, it's such a reminder, like, don't you remember you have lived without these bags before and you loved it. Like you loved it. So just put them down again. But it is fascinating how this is happening this year. And a reminder of why we need coaches and teammates on the journey. Like so much. We all need an objective, loving other party to see us.
Yeah, because I keep saying this to all my clients. This year, the resistance, the hard stuff we're feeling is so personal. It's not like we're all living through a war that's the same for all of us.
Yeah.
I know in a lot of the country, people are dealing with that, right? But right now in our country, there is no bombs falling on us. There is no universal bad thing happening to us every single day. The resistance, the hard things we're feeling are personal, right? My resistance is completely because of my thoughts, my resistance that I've created. And I can totally see that. All the bad things I was thinking about and feeling about, they're here. Not at this moment. Luckily, I'm kind of past that. But my personal experience is because of my thoughts. Carrie's personal experience, her resistance is because of her thoughts. It's very specific. We're all dealing with our own specific stuff, which tells you that this is true. You're not just getting flung with random shit. You flung it at yourself. And I'm not saying you were wrong to do that. This is just part of Earth. It's part of us mastering ourselves. We're learning. We're babies. We're learning how to be vibrational beings who are creators. It's so cool. So embrace it. Embrace all the things that you're going through right now. Abraham, step 5. Don't beat yourself up for going through a hard thing. It's okay. It just means we're creators no matter what we're focused on. So we may as well focus on the things that make us feel good so that we can get good things.
So easy.
Well, it takes effort. It takes maturity. It takes focus. It takes caring about ourselves. It takes knowing that we're worthwhile to be nice to.
And it takes, for me, it takes discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It takes remembering reminding myself each day, I feel better when I prioritize feeling better.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
when I feel better, my life goes better.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yep.
Momentum is an interesting thing. It
Yeah.
really is. And the image that's coming to me right now is it's actually a weird image. It's about like derailing a train, like that, something could be going on the tracks like really fast and it doesn't take a very big thing to send the momentum somewhere else entirely. Um, but you have to do something to send the momentum somewhere else. And I notice the patterns in my own self and I can be really, really disciplined. And yet I have patterns in my own self. It's like, oh yeah, tomorrow. Oh yeah, next week. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I got to get to this first. Um, when nothing is more important than prioritizing feeling good.
Yeah. You know, we are confronted with our physicality in the mirror every day. We have to brush our teeth, we sleep, we eat. If we stop doing all of those things, it wouldn't take very long for us to notice that things aren't going very well. People are not wanting to talk to us because our breath smells so bad. We can't function. We're hallucinating all over the place because we're not sleeping, right? We're skin and bones because we're not eating. We die because we haven't drank anything, right? It happens pretty quickly when we don't take care of ourselves physically. But how many of us take care of ourselves vibrationally to that extent every day? Not many, not many. And so when we do make an effort to meditate, to care for ourselves, to love ourselves, to feel better, we notice a huge change. Sometimes it takes 30, 60, 90 days, right, for that momentum to be visible. But almost immediately, we're going to feel a little bit more calm. We're going to feel a little bit more with it, right? And so think of yourself as vibrational first and see what that does. As an aside, Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? I've been seeing more and more people lately YouTubers talk about how they've gotten into his meditations and their whole lives are changed and it's amazing. And they're basically just meditating for an hour a day, right? But everything's changed. Their whole world has changed. And everyone, like in the comments who aren't familiar with him, think they've joined a cult because they're so happy. They're so different. They're so clear-eyed, right? They're so culty. It is not a cult. It's just, you're just meditating. You're just meditating. But like that 1 hour a day, right? You spend way more than 1 hour a day taking care of yourself physically. 1 hour a day taking care of yourself spiritually, vibrationally, will change your entire life. And you don't even have to do an hour a day, right? Abraham's like 10 to 20 minutes, you're good. So just try it. Try it.
I'm
That
thinking,
will replace your planning. There, we've come full circle.
yes, I was going to, perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Easy peasy, guys. And if planning has been confusing,
Mhm.
now you know why.
Yeah.
Because it truly has been for me. Doing the things that have worked are confusing, or like I literally don't know the next step. It's because, oh, I'm future I'm living in a future instead of in a now.
Yeah. So reframing that instead of like, well, what can I do to get? What do I want to do right now? What's the most exciting thing I can think of right now? What am I craving right now? Bring it back in.
I will just share something because I did something today differently. Like I was like, what do I want to do right now? And I realized that I wanted to go on a walk. And I had a limited amount of time. Oh, I see that we're over. Sorry. I had a limited amount of time, or so I thought. And so I was like, okay, I want to go on a walk, but I also want to make sure that I get a chance to lift some weights. Okay, so I'll just do a short walk. And then I had an inspired idea, and it was to take my dog for a walk. My dog does not go on walks. She's historically a terrible walker and barks at everyone and like pulls like really, really hard. And she has never been fun to walk. But I got the inspiration to take my dog on a walk. And I knew I was going to make her day, because like whenever we take, like if she hears the leash, she like goes crazy. Anyhow, the point is, like, I had this like, oh, I'm having an inspired idea, I'm going to follow through on it. And there was a part of me that was like, cool, I am following through on an inspired idea. Maybe $1 million is going to fall from the sky on my walk with my dog. And I just want to report that nothing happened, except for my dog was amazing. She had the best walk. She didn't pull. She didn't try and attack my neighbor's gardeners. She like thought about barking at another dog, but kind of changed her mind. Like, we had a good walk. And I don't know why I'm telling that story now, except for like, there is this thing inside of me. And so maybe it's inside of many of you that is like, inspired action will lead to like immediate money falling from the sky, or whatever, your dream partner, or whatever it is. None of that happened on my walk today, but I feel really good that my dog had an amazing walk, and I feel like I can walk my dog again, which I haven't felt like that in a long time. So there's my happy story for the day.
I love it. Yeah. Stop doing things for the outcome. Start feeling good, and the outcome will come. All right. That's enough lecture for today, I guess. We love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments for us, please leave them below. If you would like to coach with Carrie, reach out to her. And if you would like a soul portrait, then reach out to me and go to the Intuitive Art channel. I just posted a video. And in the email that I sent you today, there is a link to book. I've been having so much fun, and we need hearts.
Although thought bubbles are great. Oh, my hearts are not. Oh, there they are.
They are. All right. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.